Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. I had an email come in recently from, I guess, a company that sells sports psychology and help self-improvement things relative to sports and golf. And I wrote a few notes about it, and it brought to mind a number of things that I've already said, and I want to reiterate them again. And I know that it said that it started off by talking about, since we're in the fall, and for most of at least half the United States, that we're going into the, shall we say, the winter freeze, where golf's not going to be played until it started out by saying something about with another season ending, is it time to get out there and make a reflection about this year of what you accomplished or didn't accomplish. And it started talking about not only basically what they talked about was keeping notes. And I've talked about that many times. And right here in my bag, I'm reaching into my golf bag, that my notes are with me. And I use these on the practice tee, and I'll pull them out on the golf course as well to write notes down when something really clicks with me. And I got actually two pads in here. One's been filled up, and I got my latest one, and it just starts off. It says Dawn Swing Thoughts, and I get into here, and this pad started out. The first date in it is 2/9/04, so that's February 9th, 04. And I'll write notes in this from everything from putting all the way up to the driver, and I write them on the range as well as on the golf course. And I take these out every now and then and read them. And I've come to learn that relying on memory doesn't work. Even if I'm on the range, say today, and I find something and I'm playing in a tournament tomorrow, and I say, oh man, this is really good. This is so good I can't forget it. There's a higher probability I'm going to forget it even faster. And I think I've related some of those stories in the past. But notes are critical. With your notes, you have your stats. And I think that if you really have a desire to play golf for more than just exercise and camaraderie, but rather you want to play to hopefully play well, be the best you can be, that would require us working on our game. And the best thing to do to work on your game is to keep your notes, keep it handy with you, and set yourself goals. And we can have goals from year to year, and whether it be just lowering your handicap, improving your ball striking, if you have a club in your bag that isn't functioning well, whether it be a driver or a wedge, that you're going to get it checked out and find out if it's right or it needs adjustments, and then that you're going to learn to use it. Many people, I've heard golfers say to me, gee, I can't hit this club or that club. And I say, well, how much do you practice with it? Never. Or they sometimes say, boy, I really hit my 7-iron really good, and I practice with it a lot because I hit it good. Well, but I don't hit my 5-iron very good. How much do you practice with it? Almost never. Well, if you don't practice with it, how are you going to get good? And in some cases, if it's not treating you well, meaning that no matter if you do practice with it, or when you do use it, it doesn't seem to hit the ball very good, that might be a clue that club needs to be checked by a fitter to make sure that it is correct. And so, in all the aspects of it, the shaft, the lie, the length, the loft, everything. And so, I think if you really want to improve, you need to put the effort of keeping notes, and studying them now and then, and at some time, writing yourself at the start of every year a goals list of I want to improve my sand wedge, or I have to improve my driving, and write just a number of things. I'm going to drop my handicap at least this many strokes, or I just don't play this hole well. I'm going to figure out a good way to change playing that hole. Instead of hitting a driver, I'll hit a 3-wood. Just get it in play and see how that works. But you write these notes from little ones to big ones. And then at the end of the year, you go back and evaluate them. And then you say, okay, I accomplished this one, I accomplished that one, I didn't do this and this, so I guess you'll keep those you didn't accomplish and put them on next year's list. And I think ultimately in the end, relating it to keeping some stats, whatever amount of stats you need that you feel that you have to make a good evaluation of are you improving or not, and what needs to be improved, and when you do get better at something, it also tells you if you're starting to slip in that skill. So if you really want to be the best golfer you can be, and then you need to keep some kind of stats and keep them in long term, so you can keep going back over and reviewing them and adding to them, subtracting from them, and especially changing them as you need it. and goals is a great thing to do that. So the season's ending for us this year. Why don't we, if you haven't ever done this before, why don't you try it? Give it a try. Make up your list of goals and the things you're gonna track. Get your own little book in your golf bag and keep it with you, in both the practice tee and write things you found on the practice tee as well as things you've done on the course, and check it out occasionally and as often as you need, and you're going to find that I think the more you know, the more you can help yourself get to be a better golfer. So let's have our goals, let's have our notes, and let's all get better. All right? And let's make that our New Year's promise this year and for next year and for years after that. All right? Well, that's it from The Surge for today on knowledge is important. More knowledge can help you become a better golfer. So with that, I'll be closing for today, and I'll hopefully, like you, keep doing my notes, and we'll all be better golfers next year. That's it from The Surge for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.